Okay, based on a comment I received on one of my other videos, I thought I'd take time to make this boring informational video about the history of GW paints. So you've been forewarned. This is going to be me talking about the history of GW paints. I've been in the hobby for 19 years, been using their paints less than that, but still for quite a while. The first stuff I remember using is in the early to mid 90s. They're always called Citadel. Color is this stuff. Came in the hexagonal jar, has a flip top lid. The problem with these lids was that the hinge here, well, there's supposed to be like a little thing holding it on, would usually break off, and then you'd have to just have this sitting down. But the great thing about these was they created an excellent seal in here, especially if you stored them upside down. The liquid would rest against the bottom, and you didn't have to worry about these guys drying out. And also, if you stored them upside down, you could see through the bottom because they were clear, and you could see what color you had. So, and because they were hexes, you could have them all arranged nice and neat and very efficient in the box that you carried your paints in. These were made by GW in the UK, 17.5 milliliters for these, and they were under contract through Cote d'Arms Paint. So they had a lot of colors in this range that they don't have now. This is Deadly Nightshade. It's what I use for my Space Marines. It's so blue, it's almost black. That's how dark it is. I ran out of this and I thought, well, what am I going to do? They don't make this color anymore. I tried mixing to it and it just would turn out gray. Somebody was nice enough to tip me off that they're still available from Cote d'Arms in England. So here is, and they even go by the same name, Deadly Nightshade. This is a Cote d'Arms paint. This is 18 milliliters. And the pricing on this, even though having it shipped from England, I don't live in England, 3 of these shipped from England, including the shipping, cost just about as much as buying 3 of these new GW paints. So it's not a lot more expensive, and it's the same formula as this older GW stuff. So if you like this older GW stuff, look for Cote d'Arms. They're still making all those colors, same formula. Good stuff. At the time that they made these by Cote d'Arms, you also had available to you the washes, and then they had a line of metallics with all sorts of different colors. This is, at least to me now, it's looking blue, but this is a purple. They made purple, a green, blue, copper, bronze, brass, 2 types of gold, and 3 types of silver, I think is what they had out. And then there's also the wash. This Armor wash I love. I'd use it for almost everything, and I use it for Bad Ad Black. Actually replaces it for me because I was running low on this. But again, I could get more from Cote d'Arms, but I didn't know that then. This is really good stuff. So then GW switches, and then they go with a company in France, and they reduce how much you get. Normally you get 17.5, now you're only getting 12 milliliters. And then these jars here have the screw top lid. What sucks about these is that if you get any paint in the threads, and then you close it, and then it dries in there, sometimes, this is probably a bad example. If I look not too far, I can show you somewhere. I've had to take needle nose pliers or something and try and get a grip on this just to get some torque on it so I can get it open after it's dried closed. Not a big fan of these. You constantly have to be rehydrating them. I live in a desert, so it's very problematic for me. If there's colors I have that I don't use, it seems every few months I've got to go through and just start adding water to these to keep them going for me. And then they did away with the washes at that time and had the inks. As you can tell, the inks just kind of leak. I like this red ink. It's what I've been using for blood. It has a neat quality that you can see it shines a little bit when it dries. And then this is still the same company, I presume, because they're made in France, and then they switched to a flip top. The problem with this is that when you have this open, if you've got paint in here, when it drops, it's going to drop onto the lip. So what I do is I have a little bit of this stuff here, the plasticine poster tack, that I can prop it up at an angle so if it's going to drip, it falls back down into the pot. But these are okay. Again, I got to keep them hydrated. And now GW has switched, and I believe they're going to be switching their whole line over to this style. These are made in China. They've probably gone with yet again a lowest bidder. And you got the same issue here when you open these up and see how it's kind of all drying around there. Got to keep these hydrated as well, and I prop them up so that they fall back into the pot. I've had trouble getting them to seal. You want to make sure that they're sealed all the way, and they've got this little doohickey in back to, if you want to keep them open, you have to sort of hyper extend them till that clicks in place, and then it'll stay. And positive, I have to say, are these new washes that GW has. This Bad Hat Black is incredible. A lot of my models that I've been showing you lately, I've been using this on. I just get a base coat on everything, and then put this Bad Hat Black on it, and it's almost like I've waved a magic wand, and it adds highlights and it adds shading, and really makes the model pop. So if you haven't tried this out yet, take it from me. I don't think you'll regret the $3 or whatever this costs. Give it a try. You don't have to water it down. You can use it right out of the pot. And I know in the past with washes, there's something about the surface tension. You either add a drop of soap or add a drop of Future floor wax, and that affects if it's going to go into the cracks or if it's going to kind of beat up and stay on the surfaces. This, you don't have to worry about any of that. Just go ahead and you use it, and it's I even say it's idiot proof. Really good stuff. So thanks for sticking with me. If you have, that's a brief history of GW paints. I don't think there was any they had out in the past 10 years or so, that any styles that I've missed, and that's pretty much what I use. I've also tried around with some of these the Reaper Master Series. I went through buying a bunch of different blues, trying to find something that matched the Deadly Nightshade. I haven't really ventured too far out of GW. I've got maybe 3 or 4 of these that I've tried, and had some good luck with this Foundry paint system as well. But again, I bought 3 of their blues. They come in sets of 3s. There'll be like a deep blue light, deep blue medium, and deep blue heavy. One for the shade, one for the flat, and one for the highlight. So that's that.